Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm doing okay. I had a little bit of a headache for a while, but I call it an attempted. This happened with, well, a couple people, but I call it attempted narcissistic shadow demon transfer. Um, let's put it this way. When they get in touch with their inner, or whatever, depending on their gender or if they even think they have one, and then they try and put that bad energy out on you. I've told you before what I do is usually I'll play some music, I'll ignore it, I'll walk away, whatever, but it's just this thing inside some people that they have. Like if they're, like misery loves company, so if they're having like a bad time at it, they cannot resist putting it on somebody else. They can't have a stoic outlook on something like, oh, well, I'm not feeling well, so I'm not going to put this lower vibration on other people. It's not like that at all. It's like they find avenue to put that on you intentionally, no matter what it takes. I mean, it could be the weirdest thing. If you, do you know what I mean with that? It's like they just cannot resist passing on their misery. It's incredible, and you think, I mean, I'm not ever going to get used to it, but you think a person would know. Well, see, that's how it doesn't bother me as much as it used to. I used to get surprised by it, but now it's not that I expect it because I always hope it won't be there. But now when it does happen, I'm not as devastated from it. So yeah, it's sort of expected in a sense. Um, so you don't get surprised by it. You know the person's character and what they're capable of and what they've done in the past. Um, like their character and how they operate and the things they do and say is typically, kind of even keel, just like you or I. We know like there's certain things we say or do on a daily basis that makes us who we are somewhat, like if you tell a joke, you know who's gonna laugh. Um if you see something important, some important information, you know who's going to care about it or whatever. The person's character, you pretty much know a person, so you won't be surprised when they do something horrible because that's who they are. So I call it a narcissist shadow demon. They're controlled by this icky thing that they got to put on somebody else. I think it makes them feel better when they do. I don't even see it as a matter of control. I just see it as the evil that they are passing on, that they enjoy that. I don't think they even care about, well, they care about control, but uh, they're just, we can't view them in the same human light. Um, it's like I was listening to Quinn Holiday this morning, that ASS something podcast. I don't know. I should look it up. I'll look it up and get it right for you because he's got some good information. But um, he was talking about ruminating over the narcissist. Um, yeah, I don't even let my brain go there. I don't even wonder why they're doing it anymore. That I don't care why somebody's being evil. I just know when they are, you know. He had, okay, it's ASSC Direct podcast. So why so many people struggle with ruminating after the narcissist? Yeah, don't even waste your time. Yeah, it's oh, and it kind of went in line with what Elon Musk said, like Disney's trying to blackmail him from he doesn't want to put their uh references, their conditioning for children, their MK Ultra ways. He doesn't want to advertise them on his platform, and he calls it like blackmail, like media blackmail, and he just flat said, people that are out there trying to look good, pretending they're good, but they're actually doing evil, that you can go to yourself. And then he said it again, just to make himself perfectly clear how he felt on that. Now, I'm not a big Elon fan, um, but he does make a good point with that, and maybe that's really how he feels when it's concerning the kids and the programming that they have towards the children, not for them, but um, all the symbolism with all the magic and witchcraft and everything. It's all pointed. It's witchcraft, period. So, yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, what I do is just turn on some music and try to just let it go. It's a little hard sometimes, especially when I get like two of them in a row, sometimes more. Um, a Facebook friend asked me if I was still watching a certain somebody, and I said, yeah, I usually do, but yeah, I never know when that type of feeling is going to hit me with that channel. So, yeah, I'm leery. So, yeah, I don't put my faith in any person like that, where I'm going to say, well, I trust this person because they're my friend. Well, I've tried that, and it doesn't turn out very well for me, because I can actually love another human being or see myself in them, and think that we have similarities or something when we actually don't, because I don't have to pretend to be me, and I don't have to work at um, lustful struggles that other people do. And when they do, that's when they get all bitchy like that, because I can tell that's the way Satan operates. You do something shitty, then you're going to treat other people shitty, because that's what you're doing, and that's what they do. So if you get that vibe off somebody, that's what's going on. They're doing something they know they shouldn't be doing, and they're trying to put that bad vibe off on somebody else. Or they got that bad vibe from somebody else that's doing something ill, and they put it on them, and they're passing it on, like a codependent narcissist, but really narcissistic nonetheless, if you see what I'm saying. So if you want to stick around, I'm going to read you an article that I shared in my community, um, about the Native American land in my state. It's About 10, about 10 paragraphs long, not real long paragraphs. Emma Estab wrote this on November 28, 2023. It's about a dog park that closes after finding out it was sitting on an indigenous cemetery. The city of Red Wing is closing a long-time A.P. Anderson Dog Park after finding out it had been sitting in an indigenous cemetery for years. The news was broke at a recent quarterly meeting between Perry Island Tribal Council and the city of Red Wing, Minnesota. After, it doesn't say that, but so you know, after signing the memorandum of understanding in 2022, the tribe had access to data of known archaeological sites within the city. Prairie Island Indian Community Complacent Officer Frankie Jackson says this is a historical cemetery to the Dakota people, and oftentimes it gets lost in the transition when we just use the term burial mound. But as a whole, these places were our historic cemeteries, and they are places where we buried our relatives and our loved ones. And so I think that we are defining areas of landscape like this. It's more important to use that vernacular that the people can often relate to. At one time, there was over 3,000 burial mounds in Red Wing. One second here. Red Wing is a very small city in Minnesota. So if you think about as a whole in the United States alone, how many burial mounds people have built their homes and everything on. So this isn't something to take lightly. This is, so I'll go on. Okay. And with only a few left, the city and the Prairie Island are working together as stewards of the land. The relationship between the two communities is crucial to creating a cohesive city understanding the deep history within Red Wing. Red Wing Community Engagement Facilitator Michelle Leslie says, "We are learning together. We are also sharing that together. That is something too that part of the MOU is to share education and information. Destruction of tribal cemeteries in Red Wing has happened in the past. A letter from 1869 spoke of locals disturbing a chief's grave, and the city leader ordered them to stop. The council tells me because of this past, it is crucial to work with the city to correct these wrongs." Leslie says knowing that A.P. Anderson Park is such an important park to the Dakota land and burial mounds that will look different going forward. We will work with both communities to help plan what it looks like in the future. Dog Park closes after finding out it was sitting on the indigenous cemetery in Red Wing, Minnesota. The city of Red Wing is closing. Wait, I already read that. What? Okay, excuse me, it flipped up on me. All right. Red Wing Community. Oh, wait, I read that too. Okay. The council tells me that because of. Okay, I got that. Correcting these wrongs. Okay, wait. Leslie says, knowing that A.P. Anderson Park is such an important part of the Dakota land and burial mounds that it will look different going forward, and we will work with both communities to help plan what it looks like in the future. Okay, I read that too. But anyway, I think it's important to understand that, you know, if it were, um, well, like a historical, well, they've been taking down statues and stuff, like Civil War and whatever, but this is the Native Americans' land. It's their history. It'd be like going in and ripping up Jerusalem and disturbing graveyards or whatever. I mean, we can put billions of dollars towards another country worrying about their land, and the Native American people are barely represented in their own country. That's always been my thing. I don't care who's got what kind of blood in them. That's just pure wrong. You know, would you want to live on top of a cemetery? Most people are in this country. Yeah, there's mounds all over the place. So, anyway, yeah. It's good to know. And it's odd, it's very odd that my birth father is or was from Red Wing. And yeah, it's anyway, it's also the home of, if you know what Red Wing boots or footwear, like construction boots are. They're really well made, leather goods, and also Red Wing pottery, which is really sought after. Their factory down there that I've been in. It's pretty cool, and they do glass blowing too and all kinds of stuff. But the Red Wing pottery itself is worth quite a bit of money nowadays if you get some of the older pieces. And so, yeah. So it's good to know at least one city in the United States is concerned about preserving some of the history of this country for the people of this country, all of us, because there's so many people with mixed blood. You never know. You could have ancestors that have indigenous blood, and they would never even tell you. You know that happened a lot in the past because of prejudices and that type of thing. So, cheers, everybody. Wouldn't that be radical if like somebody was like had their head shaved and they were all like white this and whatever, and then they found out they had some like different colored blood in them or something. I wish that on every prejudiced person. I think that would be the most beautiful thing in the world. Surprise, you're not who you thought you were type of thing. That'd be great, because I'm sure that's how God feels about everybody, whether you believe there's a God or not, our creator, you know. So, yeah, some people really elevate themselves above others in a lot of ways. They're disgusting. It's horrible, you know. Yeah. Sometimes there's no going back. Sometimes people pick a side. It's the ones that pretend that they're on the side of justice. And to me, justice is what's virtuous and good and normal and them type of things. And people will pretend to be of that substance, and they're actually not, or they struggle with it. If it's there, they wouldn't have to struggle. It would just be there. And I have to keep reminding myself that, you know, so I don't get surprised, so I don't get hurt. How about we pop over to Facebook and I'll see what's going on over there. If it wants to pull up, I just clicked and my screen went black. Well, let me see if I can escape out of there. Maybe not. Oh, my strawberry preserves turned out really good. I had a little bit, not much. Oh, I have a picture of Festus off of Gunsmoke, that old cowboy show. Water ain't gonna clear up until you get the pigs out of the creek. The emotional energy you carry when preparing a meal transfers directly into the food. This is why it's so important never to make a meal when you are in a bad mood. This energy transfer can either heal you or slowly poison you. Choose wisely. I believe that, when you say, the saying like made with love or, you know, yeah. Because believe it or not, there are people that do witchcraft that actually put badness into your food in very, very different ways, and um, whether it's spell casting or actual ingredients, things that will harm you and do harm you. Name an anti-human thought that manifests itself into reality. Worthless eaters? That was my first thought. Cowboy quotes. Country isn't cowboy. Boots, Daisy Dukes. It's a farmer's tan and calloused hands. Boy, that's true. This is nice. God, please silence my thoughts so I can hear your voice clearly. That's a good prayer. A friend of mine. Hey Google, are the Jews the red-headed stepchild? Google says in Italy, red hair was associated with the Italian Jews, and Judas was traditionally depicted as red-haired in Italian and Spanish art. In European culture, the 20th century, red hair was often seen as serendipitously a Jewish trait. During the Spanish Inquisition, all those with red hair were identified as Jewish. So was Cleopatra. They try and make it look like Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt were the same thing, and they weren't. They switched the places and the gears, and then they try and tell you they're somebody they're not. Oh, yeah. Dear women, sometimes you'll just be too much woman, too smart, too beautiful, too strong, too much of something that makes you feel like less of a man, which makes you start feeling like you have to be less of a woman. The biggest mistake you can make is removing the jewels from your own crown and make it easier for a man to carry. When this happens, I need you to understand you don't need a smaller crown. You need a man with bigger hands. Ah, yes. Yep, that's true. Yeah, and if a man's gonna hurt you in any way, and it's like a ongoing type of thing that they do often, that's who they are. You got to remember, um, they're being controlled by a outer force that it's unnatural, you know, and it really is. Um, Normal men don't act like that. They wouldn't. So you know that they're not walking with the Lord when those type of things happen, you know. And if they ever were, it wouldn't be happening over and over again. So the distance, they can say that they have a close walk, but you know from how they act that they don't. I mean, an occasional meltdown or something, you know, like you're having a rotten day, that type of thing, that might be understandable. But if you can, like, even on a weekly basis, you know, like once a week, if you know somebody's going to be a jerk at least once a week, yeah, pretty much that's who they are. Quick Google search, mostly via revealed different side Bs. Keep yourself alive, dragon attack, and don't try offing yourself. Names of songs. A friend asked me what's the B side to another one, Bites the Dust. And I put, We Are the Champions, LOL, no clue. So she went and looked it up. Way to go. Yeah, I didn't know. If people hates Israel, they are called anti-Semitic. If Israel hates people, what do we call it? Um, Retarded. They can sugarcoat themselves all they want to do it, but it doesn't mean it's true. I mean, if somebody's acting like a regressed human being, that's, goes along with my theme today. We have to see who these people show us they are, you know. I'm not talking in unusual circumstances. I'm talking about on a day-to-day, week-to-week, year-to-year basis. What is the substance of this person and why are they doing what they're doing and acting like they're acting? You know, if they don't have a reason to say, if somebody didn't like me, if and I wouldn't give them any reason to. So if they actually did something towards me that says more about them, and I have to keep reminding myself these people are mentally ill. They're evil. I mean, I can't prove evil, but I can prove mentally unsound. So, and that speaks volumes, like who's controlling them, you know? And why would they be controlled? Demon transfer? Well, yeah, that only goes so far. Or they are the demon that is trying to transfer something on us. And that's where you have to be careful, because you could be having the best day in the world. Sun shining, it's a beautiful day, you woke up again, everything's going fine, and then you hear or see the wrong person that you trusted. It's like letting your mom in the door, but your mom's not a good mom. Be what uh, Professor Bachman would call a dead mother, you know. And then she puts some of them dead shedding cells on you or in you, Yeah. So I've had that happen, so I know what's up with that. It's like, yeah, we have to be careful who we let close to us. And I'm very seclusive. Um, like this morning, Doug came in my room and I didn't ask him, but then he started acting like whatever, but I'm just saying, like, this transfer of ill feelings, and I could say it's uncalled for and I couldn't prove a thing, but I'm just speaking on how these people will, like, hoover or worm their way into you and then lay this crap on you out of the blue, you know. And some of you know just what I'm talking about. It's like it could be your kid, your husband, your wife, your mom, a brother or a sister, your boss. But you know that there's something about these people that they're gonna, it's like waiting for the other shoe to drop. You hear one and then you just know they got 2 feet, there's another shoe, and you're just waiting to hear that other one, because they have those 2 feet. That's who they are, so protecting yourself from those. Just don't be fooled. Just don't, I mean, hope for the best for them, pray for them, but don't be fooled, and don't put your trust in human beings like that, because you will be hurt if you do. If they're that type of person and that's who they show you that they are, you can rest assured that's what you're going to get. And so it's like if you're listening to somebody out here and they have a tendency to kind of go off every once in a while. I don't mean off like on a rant, I mean off into retard zone. Then you can expect that out of that person, because that's who they are. That's what they're doing, you know. I'm not talking about somebody that's like proving the existence of God through different images or whatever. That's, you know, um, I hope something everybody sees in the world. I'm talking about people that will be talking, and then all of a sudden something, goes sideways in that shit, and it's like, just like reaching out and go smack right through the screen, and you didn't expect it. You have to learn to expect it, and I haven't been getting hurt as bad because I do expect it now. It's like, oh, okay, that's who you are. Yeah, no wonder. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm sure it's going to hurt. Or it already does. But man, be careful of that, really. And women, that's old 70s saying, 60s actually, man. Like when men started calling everybody man, the hundreds of times I had to tell men, I'm not a man. Maybe you didn't notice, you know, that even when I first met Doug, I'm like, you're going to have to quit that. He did, you know. And I'd say, okay, woman, you know. So, yeah, there's distinct differences in the genders, no matter what anybody wants to say or pretend. I don't care what they want to pretend. Um, when the medical emotional community is trying to change words and rewrite what was and is a mental illness into something that isn't anymore to appease the satanic regime that's going on this planet, I'm not going to go along with it. And anybody that does, you're directly my enemy, you know. Even with the queer community, I don't have problems with them and they don't have problems with me. I do, however, have problems with men pretending to be women in order to do harm to women, and that's happening more and more out on this planet. And that really is the name of the game, believe it or not. If you take the mother out of the situation, the foundation of your family is gone. You would think that it is the husband or the man, and I am telling you, no, it is not. The foundation of it, that whole thing starts with the mom, and the mom is always there for her children and her husband. That's the foundation of the whole thing. When the man has a meltdown, it's that woman that helps pull him back up. That's the foundation. That's the stability of the whole thing. The heart that God put in mothers is what they're trying to eliminate. It's not the female energy that they're trying to say that is evil. It's the male energy within females that will get bonuses from the satanic regime by denying other women and children and families and husbands, and they do more harm almost than the men that are actually opposing women too. They're all just as bad as one another in that respect. So that's what's going on, is the destruction of the woman and the family. And I'm not dismissing that men don't go through hell and that you're not directly attacked by Satan, because I know you are. So hopefully you have a strong woman in your life, a mom, a wife, a sister, somebody that has that stability with that heart in there, you know. So, anyway. So don't buy it when you hear these people saying. That's why they refer to Satan as a he, because that's who he is, you know. Don't be confused with that, you know. And they refer to God as a he, you know. Now, if you want to get mixed up with Kabbalism and mysticism and Gnostic teachings and that type of thing, and you truly don't have God in your heart, you're going to be way confused. And then you probably will have gender confusion, you know, and spirituality problems, getting in touch with what is real, because you won't be listening to what the true spirit is. You'll be listening to the satanic side of stuff, posing as that, as these posers do. That's probably about it for today. I appreciate you joining me. To my friend, I don't know if you're still watching that person that you asked me about. Um, I love people. I wish the best for them. I just wish that they knew the love that I did have in my heart and the virtuous thoughts that were behind it like that. That is real. Um, I cannot, um, I can't make somebody see something they don't see, or they're ignoring on purpose for their own gain. So, um, all we can do is hope the best for people. I guess that's about it. So, all right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend ahead. I love you all. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA.